friends, today I'm out in the garden and I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the risks of planting grocery store garlic that I didn't know about before I planted this bed back here. So let's have a look. This year I used organic garlic that I purchased at a grocery store to plant my garlic field. We ended up buying it in 2 batches, but in those 2 batches I think we got 3 different varieties of garlic. And one of the risks that I found about using grocery store garlic that I don't know why I didn't think of, it should have been perfectly obvious, but I didn't think of it, was that I was maybe getting different varietals of garlic and that their season lengths and everything like that might be different. And what I found is I seem to have had 3 different types of garlic in those purchases. So these matured pretty well, even though I planted them late, and started dying back pretty quick. Most of these have good bulbs, they're good size, you know, fair to middling, not huge, but also not tiny. You can see right here, it's a decent size. It's like a golf ball. But then I have some that didn't bulb at all. I mean, sort of. They were starting to bulb and then just petered out because they didn't have enough growing season. They were all planted at the same time. And then I have this third variety here that is getting close to harvest, but still not quite there. Some of the garlics, I noticed the ones that did the poorest are the ones that I used to fill in the holes where my seed garlic didn't sprout. So these little guys here, this one actually has to come out. Let's see if I can get it out. As you can see, barely any bulbing on this garlic. It's just kind of round. And it should have been picked a few days ago. It's a little wet in there. That's not a good thing. But on the whole, they're almost ready to be yanked. But as you can, this is wheat here. But as you can see, some of these are quite large. But what I'm afraid has happened here, that is very strange. What I'm afraid has happened here is that this is the kind of garlic that looks like a big, beautiful head, and then each packet is full of tiny little slivers. And that is definitely not a variety I really wished to have grown, but may have grown anyway. But we will find out. I've been kind of harvesting these one at a time, and there's one of your drawbacks. You may have to harvest your bed piecemeal if you purchase from the grocery store like I did, and, you know, have a staggered harvest, which, you know, for some things succession planting would be nice, but garlic needs to cure, and you don't, in Arizona, your grow window isn't that great. So, you know, just consider that. Would I do it again? Sure. But would I be careful to try and pick bulbs that look like they came from the same seed? Yeah, maybe, but it would still be impossible to tell. So all I could tell you guys is, you know, definitely do it. Don't let anybody tell you not to. It was a cheaper investment to buy the garlic at the grocery store for this year as kind of an experimental crop. This is weird. Maybe the high winds twisted all of this. Oh, maybe not. That's really weird. Some of these are looking like Cousin It. It's very crazy. Some things I should have done were vernalize the garlic, which is putting it in the fridge for at least a couple weeks, maybe a month or 2. And another thing that I didn't do was get them in the ground early enough. I should have probably planted these in October, mid to late October, but, you know, live and learn. So this year I'm going to plant early. I'm going to probably use this bed here if I can and grow almost double the garlic that I did this year, but I'll buy actual seed garlic. The garlic that I'm going to use, and that's just the California softneck. You know, there's just a handful of things. Mismatched varieties with different season lengths. So not acclimated for your climate, and that's probably more critical if you live in hotter climates like I do, zone 9. and then having to harvest in intervals and, you know, cure in stages instead of all at once. That can be a real pain. And then also you risk, you know, having different varieties, having garlics that really don't form good heads, as happened to me with the case of a handful of these. The rest of these have done just fine. So consider that. It's still tons of fun. If you have garlic and you want to plant a planter full of them in the fall, just do it. Who cares if it's mismatched or whatever. But yeah, those were some of the slightly unexpected drawbacks that I had to growing grocery store garlic this year. I ended up with real garlic with real little segments, even planting it late in the year. They did very well, so given the circumstances, you can see the division in there. Yeah, plant some garlic, have some fun with it. If you've never peeled a fresh, wet garlic clove, you've never lived. They rip like soft paper because the paper hasn't dried, so it's wet. It's like a little wet packet, and you just pull it in half and take your garlic clove out. It's one of my favorite things to come out of a garden is fresh garlic, so give it a try, guys. That's pretty much it for now. Grow some garlic and just buyer beware. If you buy from the grocery store, you'll get some mixed results, but still completely worth the effort. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye for now.